Good morning. It's Lori. It's not even daylight out yet, but I have to go because I'm on my way to a doctor's appointment for blood work. Let me get over these railroad tracks. I'm just glad I'm able to get over the railroad tracks and not have to wait on a train this morning because I don't have a whole lot of time to spare. I'm not much of a morning person, so okay. I need to go turn my defroster on because it's kind of foggy. It's not foggy outside, my windshield is, and I don't know why I'm looking kind of foggy, so I'll just talk to you after my blood work when it's daylight. The appointment is done. Didn't take long at all. It took way longer to get here than it did for the appointment. It looked like I was the only patient so far this morning, so yeah, got my nice Band-Aid on here. It feels kind of tight. My goodness. Well, I'll leave it on for a little bit, I guess, but I got a refill on my meds, my cholesterol meds, and yeah, I'm gonna go. I just have an appointment next week to go over the results, and they're just checking on all my levels, my cholesterol, and all the things. So yeah, and I'll let you know what happens with the results, what they say, and they're doing my vitamin D this time too to see where that is. The sky's really pretty this morning. If I try to show you the clouds, you probably won't be able to see them anyway. But it probably won't do it justice is what I'm trying to say. I'm probably going to get some coffee, though, because this was a fasted blood work. So I couldn't have any coffee. And I have about 25 minutes from home. So I'd like to have some coffee within that 25-minute time period. Yeah, I'll probably go to Big B. I have a Tim Hortons gift card, but it's way on the other side of this area. I'm not near it, so whoops. I'm gonna head out. I gotta go home and get the beef stew in the crock pot for dinner tonight and get to my jobs. I have 2 jobs today. I also wanted to mention this is not the same shirt I had on yesterday, just so you know. It does look sort of similar, but it's not the same shirt. Okay. See, look at these. We got these really pretty clouds up here. Probably not getting a very good shot of them. Yeah. Yeah, could I just get a regular coffee with cream, please? Just a small.
I'm sorry, could you say that one more time?
Just a regular small coffee with cream.
A regular small coffee with cream, absolutely. No
Okay.
flavor or anything?
Nope. Would I be able to
Alright.
get a couple of ice cubes in that, please?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Would I be able to get a couple of ice cubes in it?
A couple ice cubes, yes, absolutely.
Great.
All right, we'll see you at the second window.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
$6 and a penny coming back.
All right.
Have a great day.
And I'm going to give you this.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Ooh, they got their sprinkler on. That's going to sprinkle the side of my filthy van, or my Flex. I still say van. My goodness, I haven't had a van in so long. Okay. My Band-Aid's falling off. I'm going to have to stop and take that off. And I need to text the lady that I worked for her yesterday, and she asked me if I could get any bed pads for her. My husband can get those from work. The bed pads, like they would use in the hospital, the disposable ones. And I said, yeah, as a matter of fact, I have some now. John just so happened to have a box handy. Band-Aid's falling off. He happened to have a box in the back of the truck, so another lady that I work for uses them. She's the lady that has all the cats. She has 11 cats. Yeah, and they put them on their furniture because, yeah, we won't go into it. But anyway, this lady wanted some bed pads, so that's what's in that giant box back there. And I need to send her a text real quick and say, hey, are you up? No, I know she's up. I told her that I'd be there today and it'd be really early. And she figured, I worked for her yesterday, and she said next time. So I only work for her every 2 weeks. So it would be 2 weeks before I could get him to her. I'm like, I have a doctor's appointment. I'm going to be driving right close to your house on my way home in the morning. If you're going to be up early. She says, oh yeah, the boys get on the bus at 6:45. I'm like, okay. Okay. And it is right now. It is 7:32. So, Okay, yeah, this Big is just right around the corner from my doctor, so it's nice. There's a Dunkin' right there too. I thought about possibly just swinging in there, but there was only one car at Big, so I went there. If there was a long line though, I would have probably checked out Dunkin's line. Ooh, this is really full. I just took the lid off because I want it to cool down so I can drink it. I asked for ice, so hopefully I can take a sip. Hold on. It's not too bad. I can't drink coffee if it's really super hot. John can. He can just like pour it right out of the pot and just start drinking it. I can't do that. Oh my gosh, I can't do that. Okay, hold on. I gotta drink a little more. Yeah, that's drinkable. They did good with the ice cubes, however many they put in. Okay, I'm gonna go text her and get this dropped off to her. She's got little ones that are in pull-ups at night, and they're all out of them now except for one. And she's like, yeah, my husband's making him not wear them anymore. So she's not too happy about it, and I don't blame her. So anyway, okay, that's enough of me telling other people's business. Okay, I'm home. Oh my goodness, it's been a morning so far. So my job called, and she's got some stuff going on this morning that she didn't expect, so she wants to know if I can come tomorrow, and I said sure. So I don't have my morning job, but I do still have my noontime job, so I will still be going to work today, but that gives me a little more time to mess around with this beef stew thing for the crock pot. I don't have to rush so much, so that's good. And Hayden called, and he is not feeling well. He's having some issues this morning, so I also called the school. I called the school and said, hey, Hayden's gonna be home today. So yeah, it's been a morning. I feel like I'm gonna go start that beef stew. Okay, I got everything out. Here's the potatoes, the meat, the carrots that I got ready last night. Got some butter ready. I'm gonna use this bowl to toss the meat. Got some seasonings out. I'm gonna use some avocado oil because I'm gonna brown the meat a little bit first. There's my broth. A little bit of flour. I am gonna use some flour. I did get out a couple of gloves. My mom's got like several boxes of these, and she gave me a couple. And I'm like, sure, I use them. I use them when I'm cooking. So, and when I do crafts and paint and stuff like that. So anyway, I don't know how many boxes she has, but she has several boxes of these. I said, well, don't give them all to me because she was going to. I said, don't give them all to me because I don't have anywhere to store all those. So these potatoes are fine. I'm going to drain them real quick over here in the sink. This crock pot's going to end up being really full. I even thought about getting out a second one because I cook for an army, you know. I cook like I'm cooking for an army, but we'll see what happens. I may have to end up taking part of it out and putting it in a different crock pot, or a second crock pot, I should say. And then here's the carrots that I got ready last night, and dump those in too. I'm gonna get my pan turned on. I've got avocado oil to kind of brown the meat up with. Let me get the lids off of these before I touch the meat. But yeah, this is garlic salt, celery salt, and just some black pepper. Set this aside with the lid off. Oh, and this is some onions. I just stuck them in this container. They were in a baggie, but I drained the water off of them because they had been frozen. So I just stuck them in here. But those are some onions I'm going to use. Oh, I forgot to get my garlic out. Okay, here's my minced garlic. I'm just going to use this. It calls for cloves of garlic, but I just use minced garlic. And I'm going to use some of this Better Than Bouillon too, just for some added flavor. And Worcestershire sauce. Go ahead and get started with some of this meat. I just want to do a little bit at a time, like not a little bit at a time, just like half of it at a time. It's not all going to fit in the pan, and so I want to get it seasoned good because this is quite a bit of meat. So there's celery salt, garlic salt. Oh, this is not going to come out good. Black pepper. Okay, I can smell my pan, so I'm going to get some avocado oil in there. Sprinkle a little bit of flour over my meat and toss it around. And I'm going to get this in the pan and get it browned, but it's going to sizzle, so I know that's annoying. I don't know how people do cooking videos and they don't get all that sizzling noise, but I do. So. All right, here we go. Okay, that's just about right. So that's why I wanted to do it just half of the meat at a time because I want it to be the single layer like this. All right, here's the meat kind of browned up, and I'm gonna go ahead and dump this into the crock pot and get the rest of it going. I put the better than bouillon stuff in here, put a little bit of broth in with it, because it's kind of like a blob, and I don't want to just put like a blob in there and have somebody end up getting a big bite of better than bouillon. And this is just the cup that I had the flour in. I didn't use it all, I just dumped out the rest. So let's make a mess, why don't we? Kind of a big batch, so I'm going to be pretty generous with the Worcestershire sauce so it's nice and savory. Dump in this broth. Put that in. Okay, I'm going in with the rest of the meat. Ooh, this pan's a little hot. The handle's not hot, but this little handle is. Okay, so it's going to be a really full crock pot. Look at all that. Look at all that stuck on. All that stuck on yumminess. I'm going to put this butter in the pan. Put the onions in. And I'm just going to go right in with the garlic because the onions were frozen. They're already soft. I don't want to like ruin them, you know. So I'm going to go in with some garlic. I just did a couple generous spoonfuls. That's my teaspoon. Here's the garlic and the onions and the butter. As soon as that butter melts, I'm going to deglaze this pan. So it's going to be loud. So I'll show you, and I'll just turn the volume down. There we go. It looks pretty good now. And you can use wine to deglaze too, but I just use water. And if it were me and John eating this, I would probably put in celery and peas, but the guys don't like that, so. I am going to make some peas though later. I'm going to make some peas and put them on the side because Josh and I will like those. In with the onions and the garlic and this mixture with the better than bouillon and the Worcestershire sauce, a little broth. And I'm not really gonna stir it. I'm just gonna kind of mix this stuff in just a little so it's not just laying right on top. Then that's gonna be it. I'm gonna put the lid on and I'm gonna let this cook all day. There we go. And I'm gonna turn it on. I don't know whether you can see it or not, so to tell you the truth. Okay, we're gonna turn it on. We're gonna put it on low. And we're gonna put it on for 8 hours. There we go. All right, clean up my mess, put this stuff away, and oh yeah, this. So this broth right here, I'm gonna put it in this jar. I'm just gonna do it like this. I'm just gonna put it in here. And when I get home, I'm gonna make, just a little extra. But when I get home, I'm going to use this to make a roux to put in here so it can be thicken up a little bit. So I'm going to put this in the fridge so it's really nice and cold. Okay, before I leave for work, I went ahead and got this ready. I got a pan out ready with parchment paper. And over here, I've measured out almond flour, baking powder, salt is in here all measured out and ready to mix in with the rest of the ingredients for some keto biscuits. And this is going to be to make the thickener with. I am going to use the cornstarch to make thickener with for the stew. And I'm going to put a little bit of this Kitchen Bouquet, the browning and seasoning sauce, just to make it a little bit more, I don't know, savory and brown. So yeah, that just adds a nice little touch. It only takes a little bit. Okay, my job's done, and I'm not done any earlier than I would have been otherwise, and I even got here a little early, but I just did extra stuff, and I kind of took my time, so it wasn't quite as bad. I'm still sweating half to death, but you know, that's normal for me. It wasn't quite as butt-kicking today because I did take my time a little bit, I guess, but then the kids started coming home from school, and I'm like, oh, shoot, I took my time too much. My goal is I try to race the clock to get done before the kids get home from school. So, but still do a good job at the same time. That's a must. The first thing I'm going to do when I get home is edit my video for today and get it uploaded. I started editing it a little bit earlier like when I got home, like before I left for this job, but I decided I better not mess with it because when I start doing that, that's when I lose track of time. And I realize, oh my gosh, I've been sitting here for an hour. It's already noon. You know, we're definitely going to take a look at that beef stew first though. Okay. I'm thinking too much. I'm thinking way too much. It's smelling amazing in here. We're going to turn on the light and we're going to turn on this little light right here. Let there be light. I wish you had smell-o-vision so you could smell this. It smells so good in here. Oh, oh. Ooh, this is hot. Okay, so it still has some cook time left on it. But I'm going to give it a stir. And it feels kind of like the potatoes are still pretty hard. So I'm going to use this other spoon rest because it's deeper than this one. This one's a lot more shallow. So yeah, anyway, there's that. I'm going to get a knife or something here. Let me fish out some potatoes. Yeah, they're still crunchy. So we still have some time left. It still has 4 hours left on the timer thing. So yeah, we're at least going to let it go for a couple more hours. Okay, it's been a couple hours. The beef stew is done now, but I'm still gonna leave it on while I get these biscuits made up. I thought about mixing it up in this, but I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to stir it good in this, so yeah, this will be better. Lots more room. Yeah, I just want to whisk the baking powder and a little bit of salt that was in here. Whisk it around a little bit with this almond flour, and that'll this way I can kind of break up any clumps that might be in it. Shouldn't have too many, but yeah, there we go. Yeah, and I had to put a paper towel down, if you can see this paper towel, because I turned this up on high and I went in and started editing, and Chase is like, Mom, the crock pot's running over. Yeah, because it started to boil. Yeah, started running down the side of the bag and dripping all over the counter. Okay, there's my almond flour, and I have sour cream here, and just throw that away. I got 6 eggs because I'm making a big batch of these biscuits. So if there's any extras, I'll leave them out until probably tomorrow. Leave them out today and tomorrow. If nobody eats them by then, I'll put them in the freezer, because you can put them in the freezer. They do really well. Oh man, I forgot to turn on the oven. Hold on. Okay. All right, so I've got the sour cream and eggs. I'm gonna get that mixed together. And I do have some melted butter right here that I'm gonna put in, but I'm just gonna mix this together a little bit first. Let my butter cool down just a little. I don't want to put it in there when it's like sizzling hot, you know. I guess I could have used the whisk that I got out, couldn't I? I'm gonna do that. All right, there's the eggs and the sour cream all mixed together. In with the butter. Whoa, slop it around. Just make sure you slop it around a little bit. I think that's in the recipe. If you're making it like me and making it exactly like I'm making it, you do have to make a little bit of a mess, or it just won't be the same. Oh my goodness, I'm telling ya. Oh, can you see my shirt? Yeah, I already took a shower and got my video uploading right now. So I got that all edited, and yeah. Need a pot of coffee so everybody has had their afternoon coffee. Okay, so now it looks all lumpy and weird, but that's how it's supposed to look. That's how it always looks when I do it anyway. And then you just do wet in with the dry. I scrape it all out. Yeah, it's kind of lumpy possibly because that's the butter. the cold eggs and sour cream kind of solidified the butter up like that. So then just mix the wet in with the dry and then let it stand for 5 minutes, and then we'll get them on the pan. And I'll get back with you when I get this all done. They've been sitting for 5 minutes or close to it. Probably not a whole 5 minutes, but that's okay. Close enough. They can be somewhat close together on the tray. It's not going to hurt them to be closer together than typical biscuits because these aren't really going to rise. So maybe a touch, but nothing major. So hopefully I have enough room for all of them. I probably won't. Oh well. I just dropped some biscuit dough. I dropped biscuit dough down underneath that parchment paper, but I got it out. Okay. So yeah, I took a shower this morning, but did I tell you that already? I can't remember. I feel like this has been a really long day, probably because I got up way earlier than usual. But I took a shower this morning, but it was like a super fast, like 2-minute shower. So yeah. And the only reason I really took a shower this morning was because, well, first of all, I was up earlier than usual, so I thought it would wake me up, but it didn't really do anything as far as waking me up goes. But I didn't take a shower last night because I took a shower yesterday morning. It's just, you know, I got off schedule with my shower times. But if you care, and if you don't, well, now you know anyway. Let me scoop this over there a little bit. Yeah, I'm not going to have room. I still got a little bit of almond flour down the bottom. I'm just going to kind of mix it together. Oh, gosh. Okay, so I'm not going to have room anyhow. Grab another piece of parchment. So if you need it to lay flat on the pan, here's how I do it. This is going to be loud. It's going to crinkle. Crinkle it up and flatten it back out. Then it stays put. My wash band is magnetic, so it keeps attaching to the pan. Oh my goodness. But yeah, we have to kind of, in the mornings, everybody has their shower times in the mornings, and I kind of intruded on that a little bit this morning because I got up earlier than usual. So John had left for work, and when he leaves for work, Chase gets in the shower. Right after Chase is done in the shower, Hayden gets in. Right after Hayden, Brendan gets in. Most days, depending on Brendan's school and work schedule that he's got going on. But that's how it works most days. Well, I hopped in between Chase and Hayden this morning, so. Yeah, all right, let me use the scraper. And they usually leave just enough time in between their showers for the hot water tank to catch up. And then I'm gonna get the thickening stuff going while those are in. Yeah, that's kind of a lot in there, but I'm just gonna do this. So I don't ever know for sure how much cornstarch to use. I'm just gonna throw some in. This is a pretty big pot. I'm gonna be generous with it. Okay. It's going to lighten it up quite a bit, see? So I'm going to put some of this in, just a little bit. It doesn't take much. Be really careful. Okay, that's plenty. It's plenty. So yeah, see how it kind of darkened this up? It looked like milk before. Now it's more of a kind of a caramelish color, I guess. I wonder if that's enough cornstarch. I always doubt myself. I do the same thing when I'm using like the xanthan gum or the, you know. I'm gonna put more in. Could be a mistake, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Oh well. There we go. Alrighty. Here goes nothing. gosh, this is so full. So full. I probably should have taken some out first, but I didn't. I took some out, which was probably a really good idea. I can see it starting to thicken up a little bit already. I did go ahead and shut it off and unplugged it. Last step is to take some cold butter and just swirl it around on the top and let it melt. Okay, this is the last thing that I have here that I had prepped up. This is some butter with garlic salt and some garlic powder, and this is going to get brushed onto the biscuits when they come out, and they should be done in about 3 minutes. Timer went off, so let's check these biscuits. I'm just going to sit it right on top of I usually keep my cast iron pans in there, so I'm going to use them to sit that pan on for now. And these look like they could possibly be in a couple minutes longer. I'm gonna give those a couple more minutes. I'll set a timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Brush some butter on these. I know it's kind of dark over here, but that's just the way it's gonna have to be until I get my lights. I got lights to put up underneath this cabinet, so that's another thing I have to do. All right, those are all buttered up, and I gotta move them off of this sheet so I can have room. I'm just gonna put a paper plate right there. Yep, and you can see the bottoms. They look like perfection. Okay, we got another 3 minutes on there, and it's looking really good now. Okay, let me get those buttered up, and yeah, I'll show you everything all together here in a minute. Okay, we had the first guy come down. It must smell good in here. Does it smell good? Yeah. Yeah. So I'm just using this cast iron pan as a little serving vessel. So it makes it look like I did something fancy there, doesn't it? Okay, let's see. Let's see if this is thickened up anymore. Oh yeah, that's looking good now. So I went ahead and made up a little bit more cornstarch with some cold water. That's what that cup back there is. And I think that might be what it needed. But later, it'll probably, once John gets home, this thing will probably be so thick you won't be able to scoop it out of there. That's how it usually works out for me, but that's fine. Then I put a lid, this little silicone lid on this one, so that one's a little more soupy. Okay, I got hungry guys here that want to eat. Don't you do it, Chase. He's gonna knock over my tripod. I just made you this nice meal. I've been slaving over this food all day long.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, so we got some nice steaming hot. Did you touch my tripod again? Okay, we have the nice steaming hot crock pot full of homemade beef stew. And it looks amazing, if I do say so myself. Some, can't see them, some keto biscuits, garlic buttered, yummy, and a little bit of extra beef stew there. So if this does get too thick, I could put some of that in there that's a little soupier. Okay, so we're gonna try for a thumbnail here. I don't know, I might have to move it closer. But for now, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Dishwasher's running, so apologize for the background noise, but here's mine. I actually did go ahead and make some of the peas, and I put some peas in my bowl, and I got my biscuits right there. That's my dinner.